So tonight is full body release. So in a lot of holding poses for a long time in a restorative setting, you can go as deep as you want to in this. We'll do a couple little tiny movements in between just to break it up. But go ahead and get seated, easy pose, crisscross applesauce. Inhale deeply, roll your shoulders back and down. One more inhale, roll your shoulders up towards your ears and then feel them pull down your back, and just find a long spine, but still stay comfortable. And just let your eyelids touch. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And just settle into your breath. Don't try to change it. Just notice it. Savor it. You can say this out loud if you want, or you can just say it to yourself quietly. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, whether in your mind or with your voice, just say, I release the bullshit. Sorry, there's potty words in this practice. Take another deep breath in. And as you let that breath out, say, I embrace the good shit. As you keep breathing, I am overflowing with healthy vibes. I am whole. I am calm. I am safe. I am so fucking strong, because you are. I am exactly where I need to be. Right here. Right now. In my pajamas. Just keep breathing deeply. Settle in. Just keep your eyelids closed. Call any energy back that you've left somewhere else. Come fully into your body, into this moment. Take a deep breath in, and as you release it, come into a tabletop position just for a moment. Hands directly under the shoulders, spreading your fingers wide, pressing into the floor with all parts of the bottoms of your hands, knees under the hips. And as you inhale, roll your shoulders back. Let your belly fall towards the floor, tilting your pelvis to the sky. Cow pose. Exhale, round the shoulders and the back towards your ears, tucking in your pelvis. Cat. Inhale again, coming back to cow. Exhale, cat. Go 3 more full rounds using your own breath, taking your entire inhale to come into that cow. Pause for a moment. Exhale into cat. One more round. And come and have a seat on your heels for a moment. So I put up what props we were going to use. Tonight I wanted a firmer pillow, so I was pretty clever and I just grabbed the cushion off my couch, which probably will smell like goldfish crackers if I know my kids. I have blocks, but again, you can use anything. You can use books, you can use boxes, get clever. There's so many props you don't need. Just grab something from around the house. And for this next pose, take whatever your block is and set one up vertically and one, like this. You can as high or as low as you want, and then we're going to take your pillow And we're just gonna leave it like this. So it's kind of, I don't know if you guys can see this, but so my blocks are propping up my pillow in a diagonal way. And then I'm gonna kind of come back into a tabletop. I'm gonna bring my toes to touch, my knees as wide as my mat. I'm gonna inhale, and then I'm gonna sink back onto those heels, and I'm coming into child's pose, but I'm reclined. When you hit that pillow, just feel your body soften. Relax into the pillow, relax into the bolster. And just close your eyes, because we're gonna be here for 4 minutes. If you feel your mind start to wander, that's okay. The more you try not to think, the more impossible that will become. So when you feel yourself hitching a ride on a thought, just bring yourself back to your breath. Observe it, feel it, sink into it. And if it happens again, just again, come back to the breath. You can be face down. You can turn your head any way you need to. You can make an adjustment and come taller if you need to go up higher. If you want to go lower, just remove your blocks. And you don't have to use any props with this. If you want to do traditional child's, that is absolutely fine. Stay in this pose. I'm just noticing you can't see my whole body, so I'm going to move back while you guys are doing that. We have another 2 minutes to go. On your next inhale, press your hands into the floor and come up to sit on your heels, bringing your knees closer together. You can leave your pillow right where it is. If you want extra padding, just take your blanket and put it under your legs. When you get here, inhale, your arms up high. Feel your shoulders being active, your traps pulling down and back. And as you exhale, just open up your arms to the side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms to the side. Inhale, arms up, and you can even keep going back as you exhale and bring them to the side. You can go back around on your inhale. Exhale to the side. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale out to the side. We're going to keep our blocks the way they are. I'm going to lower mine actually just to get it. Now this one, if your blocks are higher, it's going to be a lighter pose. If they're lower, it's going to be a little deeper. But you want it pretty much set up the same way. Come onto your mat or your blanket. Bow out your legs. Bring your feet to touch. And as you exhale, lower back slowly down onto your bolster, pillow, whatever you got. Let your arms hang out to the side, allowing your chest to open up. And again, let your eyelids touch. If you don't like having your arms open, the other traditional way for this pose, which is called Supta Baddha Konasana, is one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Sometimes I just like to have both my hands on my belly. To make it deeper, you can pull your heels closer in towards your thighs. If you need something, a little bit of safety under those knees, if they're just hanging and it feels kind of sore, just stick either a couple pillows or whatever you got underneath them to give a little support so that you can just relax into this pose. And again, with all of these, just settle into your breath. If you're feeling a strain in some part of your body that you know is needed, the right kind of stretch, feel into how you're feeling. Feel into your body. If you're having trouble controlling your breath, then dial it back a little bit. But feel into that stretch. As you breathe in, imagine your breath going to that area. I know that's scientifically impossible, but somehow the visualization is helpful. As you exhale, just let your back, your shoulders soften down into this pillow and bolster. Feel your hips, your feet becoming one with the earth. Let the ground support you. Most of the poses we're doing tonight are deep stretches, but they're also meant to relax and to release. very gently, very slowly, in whatever way you need to. Maybe place your heels, feet on the floor, and push your way up, coming back into a seated position. When you get there, inhale your arms up one more time. And this time when you exhale, turn to the right, placing your right hand on the floor with tented fingers. And place your left hand on your right knee. Inhale back up. Exhale, twist to the left. So our inhales create length, create spine. Exhales create space. It's not so much about twisting your whole body as just aiming your chest, aiming your heart in a different direction. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. From here, you can leave your blanket where it is if you want. I would take one of your blocks, put it on the lowest setting, just so that your pillow or bolster is slightly reclined. Keep your other block handy. And we're going to come into pigeon pose, so there's a lot of different ways to do that. And I like to just kind of come into a quick plank, one-legged plank. I'm doing my left side this time, so I'm going to bend my left knee and bring it in front of me. The more parallel you have your shin with the mat, the top of your mat, the deeper this pose will be. Take your other block or book, stick it under your left hip. This doesn't change the intensity of the pose. It simply just helps the hips stay in alignment. There's no point in sitting in pigeon if we're not doing it correctly. It actually can be quite harmful. The top of your right foot is gently pressing into the floor. Your knee is on the floor also. And actually at this point, you're going to tense your fingers slightly into the mat, inhale deeply, getting your spine nice and long. And then I want you to tuck those right toes in and lift your knee up. And actually, I'm gonna change my direction. Take your other block and set it on the lowest setting under your right knee. Forgot about that part. And again, inhale deeply, just letting your spine get long. If you need to lighten this pose a little bit, pull your left heel more into your hips. And as you exhale, lower down into pigeon pose. Sleeping pigeon, sleeping swan. And again, you can gauge if this pose is too intense at the modification you're using, just simply by if it's hard to control your breath. This is a much more intense restorative pose than, say, child, so you're gonna still feel that deep stretch in your left hip. Keep those right toes tucked. And we'll be here for about another 3 minutes. Gently, slowly press up with your hands. Remove your block very gently from under your right knee. And then your block from under your left hip. We're going to come into the other side. Straighten out your left leg slowly, maybe coming into tabletop. Some people like to come into down dog to set up for pigeon. That's fine. Do whatever you need to do. From here, come into the right side and pay attention to how your body feels differently on this side in this pose. Get a block under that right hip so your both hips are in alignment. Tuck your left toes under. Lift that knee. And stick your other block underneath there, keeping those toes tucked. Inhale deeply, tensing your fingers, maybe walking them out a little farther in front of you before exhaling down onto your pillow. And here we are in pigeon on the right side. Slowly and gently press your hands to raise your chest up on an inhale. Move your pillow or bolster to the side. And in your own beautiful way, again, moving slowly, being aware of how your body feels. Come out of pigeon pose. And onto your back. On an inhale, raise your legs to the sky, spread them out slightly wide. I want you to flex your feet like you're going to use your heels to kick your ceiling. Bend your knees until you can grab the bottoms of your feet. This is where you can use a strap or a belt again if you can't reach them or it just feels better to do so. Pull your knees into your armpit. Your arms will be slightly on the outer edge of your feet, and we're here in Happy Baby. And you can rock side to side. You can stay stagnant. Just keep breathing though. Keep flexing those feet. Keep pulling those knees deeper in. Your shoulders are still going to be wanting to pull towards the floor. Feet still flexed. One more deep breath in. Exhale, release your feet. Release your legs. Now we're going to come in to a supported frog pose. I'm going to do 3 modifications for this. So just watch all the way through. And I'll do the actual frog pose at the end, but I want everybody to be able to do some version of this. And frog is a pretty intense pose. If you have severe knee issues or knee pain, really pay attention to how your body feels. Can't answer for you, only you can on your body with how far you should go. I'm gonna demo just putting my feet on my fireplace, but if this is the lightest modification, this would be a supine frog, so we'd be on our backs, and you just would take your mat to the wall, maybe put your blanket underneath your hips, and you would turn your feet out as much as you could. And as you get there, just, kind of lower them down. This feels fantastic. If you just want to do this and you're not up for frog tonight, there's nothing wrong with that. This is a great modification. You're going to get less of a stretch, but just as much of a release. So again, if you have severe knee issues, pain, or you're just really tired in your body tonight, go with this modification. The next one is actually called tadpole. And I'm going to bring my blanket out and I'm going to kind of spread it folded up wide though, because I want that support under my knees and on my shins. I'm going to bring my pillow, my bolster right in front of that. So if you want to do tadpole, you'll kind of get to where you would for child's pose. You're going to bring your toes together to touch, your knees as wide as your mat. You inhale deeply, but you tilt your hips to the sky before then lowering down. So this is another hip opener, and this is a version of frog. For full frog, keep everything where it is, but let your knees turn out more so that your inner thigh and your knee are what's supporting you. You're going to flex your feet and your knees will be bent, just like kind of a frog. From here, you're going to want to tilt your pelvis to the sky, scoot up so that your belly button is going to be underneath your bolster. And then as you exhale, just lower down. you'll still feel this. It'll be an intense inner thigh stretch. Scoot back just a little if you'd like it to be more intense. You want to keep your pelvis tilted upwards toward the sky, but really soften into that pillow. Your heels, your inner feet, maybe at the ends, they might want to come up a little bit. Don't worry about that, that's fine. Just make sure you're not experiencing pain. Close your eyes. And I need to grab my timer. We're gonna be here for 4 minutes. And if at any time you need to lighten this pose or switch modifications for whatever reason, or you just aren't feeling it, go into child's. Go to a lighter modification. There's nothing wrong with that. Very slowly, find a way to straighten your legs very gently Maybe start with one and just bring them straight and long, still laying on your belly. Remove your bolster. Grab one of your blocks. Stay here on your belly. Maybe place your head on your palm, on the top of your palm. And on an inhale, bend your right knee. You're going to be turning it out, just like we did for frog, but because our upper body, our hips, our pelvis are flat on the floor, this is not going to be a stretch. This is going to be a super relaxing back release. This is Spider-Man. We pretty much do this in every class, so y'all should know. If your husband's with you, show them. And if you want to just make it a little more restorative, just set one of your blocks underneath. From here, you need to push your pillow out of the way. Rest your head on the floor and your hands face down. Field goal arms or arms out wide. Let your eyelids touch and just breathe for a moment. This should feel completely like a release. There's no stretch here. It's just relaxing. The higher you or more you bend your knee, the more your lower back is going to release on that side. You don't really want your knee resting too high on the block or pillow. Just maybe a slight inclination, that's all. And on an inhale, remove your block. Let that leg come long, resting the top of your right foot into the floor. Bend your left knee the same way. You want your foot slightly flexed. It just helps the release, and set a block under it if you'd like. And again, just sink into the floor, arms wide or field goal arms. Just enjoy the feeling. Follow the feeling of ease in this pose. Remove your block from under your left knee and let it go long. Keep your arms nice and wide. Press both palms into the floor. Bend your right elbow and press with your right hand, keeping that back left arm extended long. And come onto your right side. From here, you can set your right foot down in front, in back, whatever feels good. But where you're going to feel this is right here in that left shoulder. You're going to feel it opening up in your right shoulder, your right pectoral. And if you're feeling extra gangster tonight, just go ahead and put that right arm on the small of your back. You definitely use your pillow for this or your block. The block's a little easier for me tonight. And once you get into that spot, just settle in. We're going to be here for 2 minutes on this side. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, roll back onto your belly. Extend your right arm out long, pressing that palm into the floor. Press with your left hand up onto the left side. So this is how you should look from the back. You should have your right arm extended long. Set your head up in whatever way feels good to you. And plant your left foot. You can actually leave it long if that's easier. Sometimes I like this. And again, we're going to be here for 2 minutes. You just want to feel that opening in your left shoulder and your left pec. Breathe into that stretch. Breathe into that spot. Inhale deeply. Exhaling, rolling onto your belly. Just take a couple breaths, laying flat on the floor. The next pose we're going to do is a supported saddle. And I have a couple of modifications for this as well. Saddle is a pretty intense pose, even supported, just like frog. So it's a great quad stretch, but I want everyone, again, to really be honest with themselves about where their body is or just how you're feeling tonight. There's no point in doing this and pushing yourself. The whole point is to relax and release. So just, if you want to go to full saddle, supported saddle, that's fine. But if you're not feeling it, don't force yourself. Quarantine is hard enough without forcing yourself to do that. So you can take your strap if you like and use it, but I'm just going to lay on my stomach and pull my heels in. You can absolutely do this by taking your strap or belts or whatever you got and just holding on to the ends, pulling your heels towards your glutes. And you can just lay right here. Your quads are going to get a nice gentle stretch. There's no pressure on the knees. Not a lot of pressure on the lower back. If you're feeling like your lower back is tight, just give your belt or your strap some slack. So that's the gentlest modification. And then here is supported saddle. And really, it really just depends on the incline you have as far as intensity. So we're going to set up our blocks again to kind of prop up our pillow. The higher you have your pillow inclined, the less intense the stretch will be. So I'm going to set it up here for me. So face away from your pillow. And you're kind of going to put your heels, sit in between your heels with your feet kind of making a sandwich of your pillow. Again, watch your knees. If you have injuries, go with the other modification. Just get yourself settled in. And on an inhale, you're going to kind of lift your hips up just to maybe adjust your legs. Make sure you're in a healthy spot. And as you exhale, you're going to lower down. I'm on a pretty low modification, so if you want to lighten it, if it's just too intense in the hip flexors, in the quads, just make your blocks prop up a little higher so that your pillow will be higher. Oh, sorry guys. Inhale. Exhale. Just let your mouth open. We're going to be here for 4 minutes. So again, breathe into it. You kind of want to be tilting your front hip flexors upwards. Don't really push them and hold them up, but just kind of tilt them. If you're feeling any kind of tightness in your lower back, just kind of round, like almost tucking in your tailbone slightly, like really slightly, like no one would see it, but you can feel a difference. Take a deep breath in. Press your hands into the floor. Maybe lean to one side to press up gently. Be really slow. Feel your body. Don't make any sudden movements. And come out of this pose however you need to. Just move slowly and be aware of how your body needs to move. Remove your blocks and pillow. Keep them handy though. Come onto your back. I'm still have my blanket under my hips. I like that feeling. It's giving my lower back a little bit of a cushion tonight. On an inhale, bring your right knee into your chest. You can use your strap or you can just use your hands. We're not trying to go crazy here. We're slowing down, getting ready for a nice long Shavasana. Maybe rock your knee from side to side. Inhale, pull it in a little bit tighter. And as you exhale, let that knee cross over your left leg. Grab the pillow, grab your block. And set whatever you need to under your leg. You can also bend your left knee if that feels good too. Once you get there, let your arms go wide. You can even bend knees together and put something in between them like this. This is a better feeling. Actually, this feels better for me tonight. And turn your head, your gaze to the right. We're just here in sacred rolling. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, hug both knees into your chest, coming back onto your back. And as take another deep breath, and as you exhale, straighten your right leg. Maybe rock your left knee from side to side, pulling it closer to your chest as you breathe in. Stretching that right leg. One more big deep breath before coming over into that twist on the other side. You might need a different prop setup for this side than the other one. But when you find where your body wants to be, arms nice and wide, gaze slightly to the left. Let your eyelids touch again. Your next inhale, hug your knees into your chest one more time. Give yourself so much extra self-love. You have some to spare. Rock a little bit. Here I come to our final rest. And I have a couple of options for Shavasana tonight. You can do traditional. I'd recommend leaving your blanket under your hips though. The one I'm feeling tonight is actually, you can put your pillow under your legs again like we've been doing a lot these weeks. But I like to move it just a little bit. And you can do a prone Shavasana, which is on your belly. And this actually feels really amazing. Keep that blanket under your hip flexors, and you can just come down and lay right here. You can bend your elbows, stack your palms, rest your head on that. Or go for legs up the wall. Feel your body, feel what you need. Now would be a great time to grab an extra blanket if you need it. We'll be here for a little bit. Let your eyelids touch when you found your place of comfort. And it looks like we totally went over on time, sorry, by about 8 minutes. So I'm gonna shut off the Zoom. And I want you to just enjoy your Shavasana. If you're listening to my playlist, set it for the second to last song, or set your own most relaxing music you have. Let your eyelids touch and just surrender. I hope you guys enjoyed the class. I really did so much. I lost track of time. I miss you guys so much. I love you. I can't wait to someday see you in person soon. Hopefully. Just remember, your weirdness will make you stronger. Your dark side will keep you whole. Your vulnerability will connect you to the rest of the suffering world. And your creativity will set you free. There is nothing wrong with you. Have a wonderful night, you guys. Enjoy your Shavasana. Sorry for going over. I hope you got everything you needed tonight. Thank you. Bye.